welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And my apologies for delaying the live stream. It has to do with my sleep schedule. I know you get tired of me saying that. I understand. I would be too. So anyway, but suffice to say, Happy New Year to each and every one of you. We have here on our live stream, on the chat line, rather, we have Warren. Happy New Year. Happy New Year's again. Yes, definitely, Warren, and good luck on your travels. I believe you'll be on your way to your new town tomorrow. Warren's relocating, folks. Yeah, so good luck in all you're about to do, and thank you for all you have done since I've known you. So anyway, let's see what we have. Desert Mantis says, hi, Extra Bull. I'm looking for Willie. Hey, how you doing, Desert Mantis? Let's see what we have here. We have Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. How are you doing today? And we got Miguel. Yep, we got Miguel. And yeah. Let's see. Meet the new year, same as the old year. Well, yes and no. I mean, we don't want the bad things to happen, but this is some of the good things that happen. The people I know here on the chat line and in this space. So hopefully the new year will be very good for independent media across the board for the left. So for our progressive movement and to succeed in basically persuading people into our direction. So I guess we'll get started with what I need to get started with. The lighting is just so questionable today. Hold on a second here. Sometimes just not quite satisfied with the lighting. All right. Oh, well. Hold on a second here. I'm not particularly happy with the lighting. Okay. All right. Okay. So yes, I want to talk about the issue that's well, it's not really being discussed, but it needs to be discussed. Discuss a little bit. The display of Palestinian flags. For some reason, those that claim to be free speech alphas find the Palestinian flag problematic. Yeah, you're supposed to be for free speech, but you find the Palestinian flag problematic. I want everybody to think about that for a second, because I personally think it's just I think free speech means what it means. It means freaking free speech, and that's what it should mean. And for some reason, there are people that think it's controversial to it's controversial. Well, I'm one of those people that think that that free speech ought to be interpreted literally. So this is from the Horizon a little while ago, but it kind of lay way to segue into what we need to discuss. So let's go ahead and play this video, and I will be commenting on it.
Representative Rashida Tlaib is facing backlash for continuing to display the Palestinian flag located outside of her Capitol office, which she has reportedly had. Representative Rashida Tlaib is facing backlash for continuing to display the Palestinian flag located outside of her Capitol office, which she has reportedly had up since January of this year amid the war between Israel and Hamas. Congressman Max Miller tweeted in response to the flag, "The halls of Congress belong to America. They should be reserved for flags that embody our great."
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, folks, whatever's going on.
All right. Representative Rashida Tlaib is facing backlash for continuing to display the Palestinian flag located outside of her Capitol office, which she has reportedly had up since January of this year amid the war between Israel and Hamas. Congressman Max Miller tweeted in response to the flag, "The halls of Congress belong to America. They should be reserved for flags that embody our great nation. The Palestinian flag should not have a place here." Miller has introduced an amendment to end the displaying of any flag in Congress other than the American flag. Here he is on Fox.
Okay. I know that was a little bit fast, and I'm sorry for the way it kind of kept repeating. So, basically, what Breonna Joy Gray said is that the Congressman Mac Miller, I believe is his name, talking about banning the Palestinian flag. Well, here's the problem with that. There would not be controversial had been only the U.S. flag supposed to be allowed in the chamber. And even though I would have a problem with it, that's more understandable than just going out of your way to go and signal out the Palestinian flag. If the Israeli flag is allowed in the halls of Congress, and I'm not opposed to people wearing the little lapels. That's what they want to wear. People can wear whatever the hell they want. They can wave whatever flag they want. But that should include the Palestinian flag. It is a piece of cloth, just like the U.S. flag is, the Israeli flag, the Russian flag, the British flag, a flag of any nation. My least favorite flag at the moment is the yellow and blue Ukraine flag, because I'm sick of looking at that as a virtue signal. But okay, if you want to go and wave that flag or put it in your bio or have it displayed in whatever way you want, that is your right too, because all flags got this in common. It's a fucking piece of cloth. There's nothing sacred about a piece of cloth. Nothing at all. So I just want to go and just throw that out there at y'all, where I stand. But anyway, we'll let Breonna Joy Gray and in all her brilliance explain this some more.
Fox News.
There's growing outrage over Squad Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib's continued display of Palestine's flag outside of her office as atrocities are committed by Hamas in Israel. My next guest has had it, so much so that he's introducing a measure to ban such flags from the halls of Congress. Ohio Republican Congressman Max Miller, who I haven't seen or talked to since years ago, and when we were in Normandy, joins me now. Now, why is this controversial that the American flag should be the flag flying, or a state flag if you represent a particular state?
Right. I don't think this is controversial at all. This is very simple. The halls of Congress, Laura, they belong to the American people. And so the only flags that I believe that should be flown in the halls of Congress should be the American flag. States or territories that we recognize in the POW MIA and through the appropriations process, we're going to make sure that none of that is funded. As Rashida Tlaib has I don't even want to call it the Palestinian flag, because they're not a state, they're a territory that's about to probably get eviscerated and go away here shortly, as we're going to turn that into a parking lot. But I made it my mission to target anti-Semites. We went after.
Okay, this is a virtue signal. This is a virtue signal to evangelical Christians and to the neocons and the 1993 era Rush Limbaugh talking point simps out there about banning the Palestinian flag. How dare this congressman try to propose this bill just because Rashida Tlaib is displaying the Palestinian flag by her office. I mean, even if I was a supporter of Israel, I don't think I would have any objection to her putting a flag in by her office. I just, I'll put it this way, and this is going to be a little controversial. I despise the Confederate flag, the battle flag, to be more exact, because some of these people who defend it, they'll say that was not the official flag; it's just merely the battle flag. Okay, it's fine and dandy. It should not be now. It should not be officially the state flag of any state, and it should not be displayed like wow, the Confederate soldiers, they were such brave souls or whatever. The Union forces were the victor in the Civil War. Okay, and so and that was a breakaway of states that broke away from the United States My God, I'm actually defending the United States here, but in the context of the Civil War, I'm going to defend the Union. And the Union was right for they were on the side overall of good. I mean, yeah, for overall, it wasn't just about slavery, but but the net good out of it was that slavery was abolished. They still didn't do 100% what they needed to do with the slaves, being freed and making sure that the freed slaves had total equal rights and all of that. But that's another story for another time. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you want to go and display your Confederate flag on your t-shirt, or put it on a bio on your online, or you want to put it on your car, or wave that flag on your own property, that is your right. And and that's where I stand on that. Again, the Confederate flag is also a fucking piece of cloth. Just a piece of cloth. Again, nothing particularly special about it. I mean, there's symbolism, I guess you could say, in all flags. And so that's kind of where I'm standing on this. But how dare this congressman do this to strip away and basically to disrespect Rashida Tlaib. They're targeting this woman. Now, I got problems with Rashida Tlaib and the rest of the squad, and y'all heard me go on and on about my problems with squad members these days. Having that said, going after Rashida Tlaib and criticizing her for not being supportive of Israel, when she's a Palestinian woman. Are you going to expect a Palestinian to go and simp for the state of Israel? And B, regarding her, I mean, she has a right to have any position she wants on the issue of Palestine. Justice Max Miller has a right to his position, and anybody else. We can agree or disagree with either of these two members of Congress, their positions, and that's fine. But what Congressman Miller does not have a right to do is to basically try to ban the Palestinian flag. And of course, if he could, he would just signal out the Palestinian flag. So he found a sneaky way, just as many of these so-called free speech warriors and alphas on the right claim they're for free speech. But when it push comes to shove, they find a roundabout way to censor people. Now, regarding, again, Confederate flag in the South and everything, I live in the South. My state, North Carolina, was a former part of the Confederacy at the time. So, and I'm not like, the self-floating Southerner, what have you, but here I am a Southerner to have seen anti-progressive political, sorry. As a Southerner, I have seen plenty of anti-progressive politics take place in the South compared to other parts of the country. And sadly, certain aspects of the South is creeping into other states, in the North and all that. Like when they ended up, when you have states like Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, turning into right to work states. I have a problem with that. I do. When in reality, what should be done is to get rid of right to work laws, but I'm sort of meandering into another subject and all that too. But, I'm talking about the political baggage that comes with living in the South. But anyway, suffice to say that this congressman from Ohio, and his partisan hackery and his culture war narrative to go and basically to signal out Rashida Tlaib. And, dude, you're targeting Rashida Tlaib for the wrong reasons. The only valid criticism against the squad is criticism from the left. From the center, it's bullshit. And from the far right, it's bullshit. And that's where I stand. We'll let him continue.
after Ilhan Omar with H.R. 76 to remove her off the House Foreign Affairs Committee. I will not tolerate hate or anti-Semitism, and the halls of Congress are for the American people.
He will not tolerate hate or anti-Semitism or whatever, unless the anti-Semitism comes from white nationalists that vote Republicans. Then I guess it'll be okay. But then to deny that that's what they are, and when some of these people uses names, throw names around like Soros and talks about Hollywood and all of this, it's always globalists. You got to look at some of the code words that they would use, and even someone on the left like myself who criticized Israel, I go out of my way to make it clear that, and honest to God, make it clear it's not about Jewish people. It's about Zionism, which is not a political, it is not a religious, ethnic movement, but a political ideology. And so I never refer I never make the reference of Jewish lobby. You can call them the Israeli lobby, but I wouldn't go and I personally would not say Jewish lobby, just as I would not say, well, I guess nobody would say Muslim lobby with Saudi Arabian influence. But the point I'm trying to make is that, there are ways to make your point without engaging in bigotry. And this is what the congressman from California, from Ohio is doing. He's engaging in old-fashioned right-wing bigotry. And for those that always talks about, about minorities and being, racing toward a finish line through the oppression Olympics, when it comes to Israel, that's when they become fucking identitarian all the way. And I find that very, very inconsistent. But we'll let the story goes further here in this video, and I will comment further.
Representative Tlaib's office has not publicly responded to the matter on the flag outside her office. But at the start of the congressional term in January, when Tlaib originally posted a photo of her and the flag outside her office, she wrote on X, "Palestinians may be banned from flying their flag under an apartheid government, but we can still proudly do it at my office. I'm proud to be a Palestinian American, and I want the Palestinian people to know that not all Americans support apartheid. No one can erase our existence."
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez weighed in further on the conflict yesterday. Writing on X, here's what we're not going to do. We will not allow bigotry to destroy our community and city in this devastating moment. Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, and victim blaming cannot be tolerated. We can and will reject it all. Not hard. We must focus on the lives currently at stake. It was in response to video of participants at a pro-Israel rally, one going so far as suggesting all Palestinians should be killed.
Yes.
First on the flag thing.
Now that's another thing right there. Apparently, with a lot of the neocon right, apparently people using rhetoric like exterminating the Palestinian people is okay for them, but if you criticize Israel just a tiny little bit, you say, well, maybe we should have a ceasefire. All of a sudden, you're considered a terrible person and an anti-Semite. When really the reality is, if you talking about exterminating anybody, then you're a terrible person. And Palestinians are people; they're human beings, and the 30,000 people that have just died recently is unacceptable. I don't care if you can love Israel all you want. You don't have to go and sit there and praise the death of 30,000 people. But those that do, they're terrible people. They're evil. And I would say anybody who cheers the death of individual Israelis too is also unacceptable. I want to make that clear as well. I'm consistent across the board. Yes, Israel is at fault and all of that in this whole conflict. They didn't handle it correctly. They handle it. Benjamin Netanyahu handled it the way George W. Bush handled shit, and that in itself makes him flawed as a human being and as a prime minister. And he's a war criminal, just like George W. Bush. Just want to go ahead and say that. And I'll let Robbie and Brianna speak, and I'll conclude.
Says major like freedom fries energy to me. Who cares? Who like? I mean, first of all, flag like your right to wave whatever flag you want is one of the most over like litigated Supreme Court matters of all. I don't know if maybe some rule for Congress wouldn't technically violate the First Amendment. I guess it's a possibility. It seems like an extraordinary waste of time. If she wants to fly that flag, you can criticize it. You can be mad about it all you want. You can fly whatever flag you want. Like you can just decorate your office how you want. And how
10 American flags, 50 American
how
flags.
how members of Congress decorate their offices is not an important policy matter. Like, who is this guy? Like, do something serious. Why don't you weigh in on the massive amounts of American tax dollars that are about to be sent overseas? Is that what your constituents want? Maybe you can ask them about it instead of these totally performative gestures that might very well be unconstitutional in addition to pointless.
Yeah, the story there from that clip, I think, is almost not some rando's frustration with Rashida Tlaib being proud to be a Palestinian American, but the fact that he just in that blasé manner with no pushback said that he wants to level a population with 2 million people. 50% of those people are children into a parking lot.
Yeah. So we showed some video footage of an additional rally, where these comments were made that I think.
Okay, and there's more to that. And this video is a little dated, but I felt like it was kind of important to touch on this issue. And the thing about it is this: you're hearing a whole lot of people being very selective again, and that's what it comes down to, the partisan hypocrisy. Oh, well, my team, whatever's going on my team, well, shit, whatever's going on my team right now, it's okay, but when the other team is doing it, it's wrong. And that's basically the point I'm trying to make. And the part of the partisan the partisan nature of this is so in your face when on this issue. I mean, you have people like commentators like Wild Bill for America, basically in the past calling for Rashida Tlaib to be sent to Guantanamo Bay. What, for the thought crime of not supporting Israel? For a thought crime, because that's basically what they're trying to do. They're trying to go and make it criticism of Israel, large and small, a criminal offense. This is why half the states in this country have that pointless anti-BDS law. Again, if you want to go and boycott Israel, that is your right. If you want to be in solidarity with Israel, which in this day and age, I don't understand why someone would. That is your right. But you do not have a right to tell people what they can and cannot boycott. You can boycott anything you want. You can boycott anything you want. But the right will go and act like when they engage in boycotts, it's okay. But when the left engages in boycott, then it's censorship. Case in point. And this is not related to Israel-Palestine, but I'll mention this as a case in point. In 2003, when the Dixie Chicks said some mean things about George W. Bush, their careers got ruined by people boycotting the Dixie Chicks. How dare they talk about our president? And those people that had that attitude that time, they're part of MAGA today. The MAGA is not a worship of Donald Trump. It's the worship of whoever's the Republican leader at the moment. We're talking about red state MAGA versus blue state MAGA. I mean, because I hate partisan hypocrisy. I hate partisan hypocrisy, and I hate partisan virtue signaling. And it goes on both sides. It goes on. I mean, it's obnoxious when the Republicans are doing it, but as an outsider of the two-party system, it's equally obnoxious when I see Democrats doing the same damn thing. And I'm not trying to say that like every person on the right is doing this. I know libertarians and paleo-conservatives whose politics I may disagree with on some social issues or on definitely on economics that would take the views that I just had. And so that's my beef with. I'm not going to have any beef with them in that regard. But I'm just talking about the people who sit there and interpret everything that comes out of Fox News and as gospel, or whatever Ben Shapiro is saying today. The people who basically like the Rush Limbaugh 1993 talking points, but cater to a today culture and environment, and in some case, kind of molded in a way for millennials and Generation Zers to go along with, the Charlie Kirk talking points perspective. So there is that as well. But the point is that, again, when it comes to flags, you can hang whatever flag you want. It should not be that somebody should decide what flags should be in the halls of Congress. Again, had it been from day one, just the American flag, that would have been understandable. But people started taking exception because it was the Palestinian flag. All kinds of flags are in the U.S. Congress, by the way, from other countries. Again, when Vladimir Zelensky was pandering for millions in aid again to go into this war between Ukraine and Russia, where the United States shouldn't be funding in the first place, they were sitting there furling out the Ukrainian flag. Again, probably the most offensive flag in the world is the Ukrainian flag at the moment. And because just for me, I have my reasons for saying that. But again, if you want to put the Ukrainian flag on your bio or what have you, have at it. As much as Dylan Burns, the streamer Dylan Burns, gets on my nerves, he could sit there and as far as I'm concerned, he could sit there and masturbate with the Ukraine flag, which that's his mentality. Certainly, that's just a horrible vision in my head right there. Why the hell did I think that? Bad Willie. That's a horrible vision in my head. But the point I'm trying to make is, if that's that's what they want to do, that's their right, and that's. But do not sit there and try to tell people, or do not try to criminalize what kind of flags are allowed and not allowed, because again, it's by design. They're doing this for a reason, and there are people out there to try to go and ban Black Lives Matter flags and ban the rainbow flag or what have you. Again, all these flags I have talked about, whether we're talking about the American flag or the Ukraine flag or the Israeli flag or the Palestinian flag or the Confederate flag or the Black Lives Matter flag or the rainbow flag or any flag in general, all have one thing in common at the end of the day. They're all just cloths, stitched together. That's all they are. None of them are special in itself, but people get all upset over this sort of thing. So anyway, let's go ahead and I'm going to be doing another video as soon as I'm done here, because I have a couple of things I need to talk about, and it's been a few days since I was able to talk to everyone here. So let's see. Ellen, how are you this evening? Let's see. You're a fellow Southerner. How are you doing today? Yo, I can't figure this chat out. Anyway, I'm here. Yeah, basically, you got members of Congress that wants to criminalize the Palestinian flag, and that's what's happening. And in a nutshell, people, I'm a free speech person. All speech, just short of threatening somebody, all speech should be allowed. What? They're saying free speech is anti-Semitic now? What isn't? And that's pretty much what it comes down to, and yeah, it's virtue signaling. Let's see. All right. Let's go ahead and scroll down here, and I see Sean Fraser. Hey, hi, bro. Hi, Happy New Year, Sean. How are you doing today? Glad to see you here. And hey, Warren. Yeah, Bad Willie. Yeah, that was what I just said earlier. Yeah, forgive me, folks, for that graphic picture that I just painted for y'all. So anyway, I just want to conclude that I'm a free speech person, and I like to go and point out the hypocrisy of those who claims that they're for free speech, and a lot of them are not. And but again, we're talking about factions and all of that sort of thing in the political movements too. Um, let's see what else is going on. I am going to be doing another video real quick because I need to address another topic. So just want to make a quick announcement that tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Jimi Sunderland and myself will be back once again with Braglands. We'll be interviewing Jamar Jabari from the Jabari VOC podcast. We'll be interviewing him, and let's see, I'm trying to think, and I should be streaming on and off as I normally do. My request for each and every one of you, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please help subscribe to the Willie Bragg Show if you can, and like this video, because right now I'm getting close to 1,000. I mean, currently in the 700s. So help me get to 1,000 as soon as we can. Hopefully do it by my birthday. My birthday's on March 5th. And if we can get up to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do something very special here. So for each and every one of you, we're going to have a nice celebration, and it will be a lot of fun things we're going to be doing. If we can get this video up, get this video channel up to 1,000 subscribers. And for all of y'all that have subscribed to the channel since I've been here since February of 2020, thank you for subscribing. That means a lot to me. And as I say, you're helping independent media, independent voices out there, because the mainstream media and mainstream narrative is not anything that we should want to follow. So if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment if you disagree anyway. We will have a conversation. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we're in fact the muckrakers of our time. Remember also to reject corporate media, free Julian Assange, free Palestine, have everyone free, have free healthcare, have free speech available, and basically to each and every one of you, since it's January the 4th right now, every one of you have a very happy, wonderful, prosperous new year. Take care. I will talk to y'all soon. And it will be a new video coming up in a couple of minutes. So stick around. I'll have another video up. Take care. Bye-bye.